Before you apply another drop of castor oil to your skin or hair, you need to understand these hidden dangers. I've spent years researching why some people experience remarkable relief, while others end up with irritation, stains on expensive clothing, or worse. The difference between success and regret isn't about the quality of oil, it's about knowing what most doctors and wellness experts never warn you about. But don't worry, there's hope. Once I discovered these 7 castor oil mistakes, my aunt completely transformed her experience. Her skin improved, her comfort returned, and she avoided the painful setbacks that had plagued her for years. Today, I'll share exactly what she learned, including the 4th mistake that nearly everyone makes, which could be silently undermining all your efforts right now. If you're dealing with stubborn dryness, nagging discomfort, or simply want to use this traditional remedy correctly, stay with me for the next few minutes. What you learn might not just save you money and disappointment. It could protect you from the hidden risks lurking in this seemingly innocent oil. Stay with me, because I'm about to share exactly how castor oil should be used for the best results. And I promise, mistake number 4 is something almost everyone gets wrong, even those who've been using it for years. One critical misstep is applying castor oil heavily on irritated or injured skin. It's tempting to think a salve, known for its soothing qualities, should be slathered on at the first sign of redness or a fresh wound. The unfortunate reality is that trapping bacteria and moisture against a raw surface can worsen problems rather than fix them. Seniors in particular might be more vulnerable due to thinner, more fragile skin that doesn't recover as quickly. If there's a cut, rash, or inflamed area, waiting until it's calmed down, or at least partially healed, can prevent complications. As helpful as castor oil's protective layer might be under normal circumstances, that same sealing effect can become a hazard if placed over unhealed spots. Think of it like this: you don't want to lock in bacteria. Instead, consider giving the site time to breathe, or follow the guidance of a healthcare professional if you're unsure. It's a small but powerful step that can keep a simple situation from escalating. Some individuals use a light dab around the edges of an irritated patch, trusting that the consistency will help nearby skin stay flexible. Even then, a patch test is wise, especially when dealing with delicate or compromised skin. Hair applications form another common area of confusion. Because hair thinning, dryness, and breakage can be major concerns as we age, the promise of an old, trusted oil remedy is certainly appealing. Tales of overnight breakthroughs lead some folks to saturate the entire scalp daily, hoping for noticeable hair growth or bounce. Yet castor oil, being as thick as it is, clings to strands and can be notoriously difficult to rinse out completely if you use too much. The result might be hair that feels droopy or perpetually greasy. While it's true that a small scalp massage with warm castor oil can encourage a sense of nourishment, the key word is small. Seniors with fine hair may find that a pea-sized dab, warmed gently in the palms and then distributed near the roots, goes a long way. Overdoing it just leads to clogged follicles or product buildup that can backfire and irritate the scalp. If the idea of scalp care is still tempting, try limiting castor oil massage sessions to once or twice a week, making sure you're prepared to shampoo thoroughly afterward. Hair health improves not through drowning the scalp in oil, but by steadily supporting it. Avoiding extremes is best. The question of product quality also looms large. In an age where everything claims to be natural or organic, it's easy to pick the cheapest castor oil you see on a store shelf or a random online listing. However, adulterated versions may contain fillers or chemicals that compromise purity. Seniors who already manage sensitivities might encounter rashes, unwanted odors, or simple lack of results from such cut-rate oils. Meanwhile, unrefined, cold-pressed, hexane-free castor oil often carries the beneficial compounds that made it a household name in the first place. Those bonus components, like ricinoleic acid, aren't always preserved if the manufacturing process is sloppy. Though it may cost slightly more upfront, a quality product saves you time and delivers more consistent results. Often, folks who switch to a better brand remark on how the color, consistency, and overall effect differ from the cheaper varieties. A premium bottle also tends to last quite a while if you only use small amounts, which balances out potential cost concerns. This approach aligns well with a mindful wellness philosophy that prioritizes quality over blind quantity. If you don't already have castor oil handy, you'll find a link to a trusted brand waiting for you in the description below. Easy grab, no guesswork. Nothing is more hotly debated than whether to ingest castor oil. Grandparents or older neighbors might extol its virtues for constipation relief or general detox. But times and medical knowledge have changed significantly. It's not enough to say, "It worked years ago," without recognizing that your body may have unique vulnerabilities now, including medication interactions or conditions you didn't have before. Castor oil can indeed act as a stimulator for the bowels, but that same impact can trigger severe cramping, diarrhea, or dehydration, particularly for seniors whose hydration might already be borderline. Furthermore, if you're dealing with blood pressure pills, heart medications, or other prescriptions, factoring in those complexities is paramount. Thus, ingesting castor oil casually because an online source or a friend recommended it disregards the potential for disruptive side effects. Always check with a qualified healthcare professional who can place your personal history into the equation. Many older adults decide external uses are enough, wanting to avoid needless risk. Indeed, the external route provides a variety of safe, soothing rituals, like warm compresses or mild rubs, that sidestep the possible internal hazards. Skipping a basic allergy test is another slip that seems harmless yet can cause trouble. Even if your skin usually tolerates natural substances, castor oil's unique composition might shock an area that's not used to such thickness. Imagine applying it across a large portion of your back or legs, only to discover an itchy rash forming hours later. Seniors, who might already battle various dermatological sensitivities, have even more reasons to be cautious. The simple act of testing a small drop on your forearm or behind the ear, waiting at least a day and watching for redness or discomfort, is a gentle precaution. It may sound like overkill, but it's far simpler than dealing with a widespread skin reaction. If no issues arise, you can proceed without fear of unpleasant surprises, focusing instead on the relaxing or moisturizing benefits. If it does trigger irritation, you've saved yourself a lot of grief by localizing the reaction to a tiny patch. This is like checking your car's mirrors before pulling out of the driveway. An easy habit that prevents potential collisions. Heating the oil incorrectly can also sabotage your efforts. Because castor oil is often used warm for compresses or massages, especially on stiff joints or tense muscles. Some folks pop it straight into the microwave for speed. This sudden jolt of high heat, however, can break down some of its beneficial components. It might also create hot spots that could burn the skin seconds after application. Seniors with slower healing times want to avoid anything that can escalate into a burn. A better strategy is to fill a bowl with warm water and place a small container of castor oil in it, letting the heat spread evenly. This gentler method retains the oil's natural properties without risking scalds. And if you value the calm, pampering aspect of self-care, spending an extra couple of minutes warming the oil in water can be part of a relaxing ritual in its own right. Think of it as drawing out the beneficial qualities in a measured, caring way, rather than blasting them away with brute force. It's similar to how we steep tea leaves rather than boiling them furiously for 30 seconds. It's also worth noting that some newly curious individuals expect castor oil to eliminate practically every health woe, worn-out knees, stiff shoulders, and all. While there's a basis for many traditional uses, we mustn't pedestalize castor oil as a universal solution. Seniors dealing with complex conditions like arthritis or neuropathic pain might find momentary comfort in a castor oil rub, but they also typically require specialized care, physical therapy, or other targeted interventions aligned with modern medicine. Ignoring these aspects and relying on one oil can set you up for disappointment. However, that doesn't negate its potential role. It can work beautifully alongside other treatments, offering mild joint relief and a sense of emotional ease when used in moderation. The real magic arises when you harmonize old-fashioned remedies with professional supervision and personal insight into your own body. That synergy ensures you get the best of both worlds, some gentle relief without ignoring pressing medical realities. One of the more rewarding aspects is that castor oil is typically affordable compared to pricier skincare products or elaborate over-the-counter treatments. A single, well-chosen bottle can last quite a while, especially if you're careful about portion sizes. Seniors on tight budgets often appreciate having one versatile item that can deal with multiple concerns, like minor dryness, nightly massages, or occasional compresses, rather than a whole cupboard of specialized potions. That said, affordability doesn't always guarantee that you can ignore everything else. If you're dealing with complicated medical issues, the fundamental rule stands: consult professionals and verify that castor oil aligns with your regimen. The combination of budget friendliness, reasonable safety when used externally in moderation, and comforting thickness helps explain why castor oil never fully went away, despite the countless new products introduced over the decades. In discussing ingestion specifically, it's worth repeating that older adults often live under different health parameters than younger folks who might have recommended the product in passing. The castor oil that made sense for you at age 25 could be less suitable at 65, especially if you're juggling blood thinners or other critical prescriptions. If your curiosity remains high, approach it systematically. Record how you feel before and after any attempt, and be sure to monitor hydration. But it's rarely wise to simply down a spoonful on a whim. The stories of people experiencing harsh cramps or days of intestinal distress are not mere rumors. They can reflect genuine side effects. Keep a conversation open with someone qualified to evaluate your overall situation, particularly if you have a history of digestive complications. Because so many better targeted solutions exist nowadays, you may decide external use is more than enough to reap castor oil's charms. Ultimately, castor oil usage is as unique as each person who tries it. Some seniors adopt it wholeheartedly, weaving it into nightly routines. Others reserve it for specific occasions, like after strenuous gardening or a day spent on their feet. Still others dabble, find it doesn't mesh with their preferences, and move on to different remedies. Whichever path you take, Knowing the typical pitfalls and best practices streamlines the experience. Rather than stumbling blindly, you enter with a decent foundation. You're aware that patch testing isn't optional, that heat must be introduced gently, that moderation outperforms massive dollops, and that internal consumption isn't a casual choice for older adults. Armed with this knowledge, you're free to appreciate how satisfying a small scalp massage or foot rub can be when done correctly. If, after some experimentation, you see improvements, even minor ones, in how your skin feels or your joints respond, you'll know you're likely on track. At the core, castor oil encourages us to embrace patience. Its thick texture compels hushed, deliberate movement, like massaging carefully to avoid tangles or gently smoothing over cracked skin so it can soak in. For many seniors, that repeated process becomes a comforting ritual in its own right, offering an interlude of stillness in an otherwise hectic day. Instead of forcing results or rushing through the motions, the best outcomes arise when you allow the oil's qualities to work in tandem with your body's signals. This synergy fosters realistic expectations and wards off disillusionment. By the time your routine is established, it won't feel like a chore at all. You might even look forward to it as a nurturing break where you can reconnect with yourself and wind down. Many older adults find that these mindful moments are even more precious than the physical easing of dryness or minor aches. The mental benefit of setting aside personal time can be just as important as the tangible effect of smoother skin or calmer muscles. As our exploration continues, you might be wondering about one last hidden benefit of castor oil that few discuss. Beyond its physical applications, there's something deeply satisfying about reconnecting with remedies that span generations. In an era of disposable products and constant innovation, using something your grandparents might have relied on creates a subtle thread of connection to the past. This doesn't mean blindly following outdated practices. We've emphasized combining tradition with modern knowledge throughout our conversation. Rather, it recognizes that certain solutions endure because they genuinely offer something valuable. When you warm castor oil for a foot massage or prepare a gentle compress, you're participating in a ritual that transcends time. That sense of continuity can be especially meaningful for seniors who value their roots and appreciate bridges between yesterday and today. It's not just about nostalgia. It's about honoring what truly works while adapting it thoughtfully to present circumstances. Of course, if you already have a trustworthy routine or a deep connection with a long-practiced method, there's no pressure to adopt this one. Still, it's comforting to keep castor oil in the back of your mind as an option, particularly for those times when dryness or mild aches crop up. Seniors who relish quiet nights might enjoy the slow, deliberate process of warming the oil, breathing in its subtle aroma, and massaging it into tired limbs. The sense of relief, even if modest, can accumulate over time, helping you maintain a more serene outlook on everyday tasks. If you expand beyond yourself, these castor oil sessions can even become a thoughtful gift to a partner or friend, a gentle back rub or foot massage they might appreciate. The crucial part is to keep it in perspective, continuing to rely on the deeper knowledge that medical professionals and holistic experts can offer. By combining old-world practicality with modern research and personal mindfulness, you enable castor oil to deliver authentic benefits rather than conjuring miracles. The refined approach you've gained here can guide your steps, ensuring that each time you reach for the bottle, you do so with clarity and readiness. Above all, remember that self-care is not a race. As we grow older, Gentle consistency is often more powerful than sporadic bursts. Castor oil lives in the realm of such consistency. It thrives on tender, repeated applications, each reinforcing the last, and pays minimal regard to immediate, dramatic transformations. For that reason, it matches perfectly with a patient mindset, one that embraces incremental steps toward well-being. Give it a fair chance through these measured methods, and you may discover it slipping quietly into your daily or weekly schedule until it's a comforting staple, summarized by a single guiding principle: slow but steady, mindful but open, respectful of the body's limits, yet affording room for small, pleasant surprises.